That night, as Elsa opened the door to her house, she couldn't imagine the hell that was about to descend on her life. If you don't want to miss more exciting stories like this, subscribe and hit the bell. Good vision. Alan was a 40-year-old man of ordinary appearance, with a life that could be described as ordinary. He worked as a dental assistant and had a wife, Elsa, who worked at an office outside the city. Their routine was meticulously structured, with early mornings and long commutes defining their weekdays. They cherished their quiet evenings together, sharing stories of their day, finding solace in each other's company amidst the urban hustle. But behind that facade of normality, Alan hid a dark secret, a long habit of betrayal. Despite his love for Elsa, he couldn't resist the temptation to look elsewhere for the emotions that, over time, seemed to fade from his marriage. The latest of his conquests was Maggie, a colleague who frequented the same swimming pool. Between one swim and another, their eyes had met several times, soon turning into conversations and then into something more. One night, the two decided to escape from routine and took refuge in a hotel outside the city. It was a night of passion and transgression, but also the beginning of a chain of events that would turn Alan's life upside down. A few days after that fateful night, the man returned to his daily life, convinced that his secret was safe. But fate had other plans. One evening, while he was preparing dinner for him and Elsa, there was a knock on the door. The woman opened the door and found herself faced with an unknown man. "Good evening. I'm Maggie's father-in-law," the man said in a tense voice. Elsa, confused, listened to him, unaware of the drama she was about to discover. If you're enjoying the story, it would be kind of you to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. 1,000 thanks. The man explained that his son, Terence, Maggie's husband, had discovered a betrayal involving a certain Alan. The man had long suspected that his wife was unfaithful and had hidden a GPS in her car. That device had tracked her every movement, leading her husband to the hotel where the clandestine meeting had taken place. The man then read the phone records and messages between Maggie and Alan, thus discovering the betrayal. The revelation was like a stab in the heart for Elsa. Her world collapsed in an instant. She looked at her partner with eyes full of pain and anger, wondering how it was possible that the man she loved could have done such a thing to her. Alan, caught red-handed, could do nothing but confess. Elsa, overcome with emotion, kicked him out of the house, forcing him to pack his bags and seek refuge with his two sisters. He found himself alone, reflecting on his mistakes. He realized how much he loved Elsa and how much he had destroyed with his behavior. 2 months passed of pleas, letters and phone calls asking for forgiveness, hoping that Elsa could give him another chance. The woman, despite the pain, began to see the sincerity in Alan's gestures. She decided to give him a second chance, hoping that their love could overcome this test too. Over time, she forgave him, and together they tried to rebuild their lives. The birth of their daughter Angela seemed to be a new beginning, a light of hope in the darkness of the past. But the scars of betrayal were still there, ready to resurface at the most inopportune moments. The tensions began to affect their daily lives, leading to frequent and painful arguments. Elsa, despite her forgiveness, could not completely forget, and Alan struggled with his inner demons. Their relationship was like a boat in a storm, struggling not to sink. Ultimately, for Angela's sake and their own sanity, they decided to separate. It was a difficult but necessary decision. They both knew they couldn't continue living that way, risking compromising their daughter's future. In that period of solitude and reflection, Alan looked for a way out of the spiral of pain into which he had fallen. He approached Eastern spirituality, starting to practice meditation and yoga. These disciplines offered him a refuge, a way to find peace and serenity within himself. Every day he dedicated time to these practices, trying to heal the wounds of his heart and soul. The transformation was slow but evident. Alan began to see life with new eyes, more aware and serene. This new perspective also affected his relationship with Elsa. They started talking again, this time calmly and understandingly. Alan explained to her how meditation and yoga had helped him change to become a better person. Elsa, seeing the change in Alan, began to let go of her resentment. The skeletons in the closet that had poisoned their relationship began to dissolve. Slowly, they began to look into each other's eyes and rediscover the love they had once shared. Their home, which had been the scene of conflict and pain, became a place of peace and serenity. This rebirth was not immediate, but their commitment to each other and Alan's dedication to his new philosophy of life led to a slow but steady recovery. Alan and Elsa's story is a powerful example of how crisis can lead to personal growth and healing. Through spirituality and meditation, the man found the strength to change himself and, as a result, save his family. This journey wasn't easy, but it shows that with commitment and love, even the deepest wounds can be healed. Alan and Elsa's story teaches us the importance of awareness and inner growth. The scars of the past do not necessarily have to determine the future. Have you ever tried to overcome a crisis thanks to meditation or other spiritual practices?